What's going on, everybody? This is Clydean Fair. Let's talk about Wartales Trait Edition. So I've got a few comments that people want to see me make a tier list of the traits and what I actually think about them. So I went ahead and did that. But I honestly didn't have a really good resource to use to gather this information in a timely fashion because I'm trying to get all of these videos made while going to school full time. And yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys my life story or anything like that. It's been a rough week. Sorry. Anyway, I reached out to a member of the community. His name is Dorim. He actually has a great guide on Steam linked below in the description of this video. And he's a great guy. His guide is great. His guide has more in-depth information on all of these traits, how to trigger them, and more. Anyway, after talking to him, he gave me his permission to utilize some of this information to make my life easier for making this video. And now I'm going to regurgitate the information and give it to you guys after I do my own flair to it. So I went ahead and looked into all these traits, made some tier lists, and I broke them down into two major lists. One is going to be natural list. So the natural traits that you get, in other words, these are traits that are only available on recruiting and or character generation. If these traits are not on a recruit, they will never get those traits. The only way for these traits to populate is for them to be on the recruit before you recruit them. And for starting out with a fresh campaign, that means you have to select them in your character creation. Pick a malice or whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and go. And I'm going to go ahead and just break down exactly what these rankings mean. So always grab essentially means that I believe that these are amazing in one way, shape, or form, and I'm going to go out of my way to grab them whenever I see them. That being said, I'm not going to get rid of any really good units if I see someone like this unless I'm trying to perfectly min-max things, which I typically don't. Wartales, you don't really need to min-max in. Next up, we have the nice to haves or situational. These tiers, I mean, they're great. They're actually interchangeable with always grab depending on what type of build you're going for that specific unit, as well as what type of run you're trying to do. If you're trying to make a solo unit run, some of these may be better than the always grab. Anyway, next we have, these are bad, but they're not really that bad. These are essentially the malice traits that you probably won't feel that bad about having because they don't affect your overall gameplay too much depending on what you do when you play Wartales. For example, raised by boars. I mean, that's technically a positive trait, but I think it's useless because I never use boars in my party and it's just a dead trait. Whereas snore, for example, just simply move the person away from other people in the camp. Yeah, that's what I mean by they're not really that bad. You can easily work around them. Next, we've got these kind of suck, but they're not going to ruin your day. These are the ones that hurt. They do hurt, but they're not going to make you want to throw the person away. So like a -2 to willpower sucks, but it's not that bad. Or, you know, vegetarian sucks, but I can kind of deal with it depending on the situation. Sometimes I throw them away because vegetarians suck. Finally, we have avoid like the plague, which I just hate and despise. And every time I see something pop up with these, I just get rid of them and find something better because I dislike it very much. Anyway, that is the overall ranking system for the natural traits. We're going to go ahead and move on into the unnatural traits. These are actually the traits that you can gain through in-game events and choices. And honestly, I am not going to give all the information on how to trigger them in case you guys are afraid of spoilers. So no spoilers here, I promise. That being said, if you want the spoilers, go ahead and check Dorim's guide out. If you don't want spoilers, do not go to that guide because it will spoil the game for you a lot, actually. So as I said earlier, we're just going to go, but this list is actually bigger because there's even more than, you know, the natural ones. And there are no natural. I did not overlap or anything like that. So we're going to do, here's the good and kind of bad. And then here's the really bad. And the really bad is what I would call like I really just hate them. And obviously infected on the really bad, and like avoid like the plague. Infected is literally the plague. So unless you're doing a plague run, which is a thing, it's kind of fun. I recommend doing it once you fully understand all the mechanics and Wartales if you want to have a little bit of fun and have like a different type of challenge. But obviously on a regular run, especially when you're first learning out the ropes, infected probably isn't the best thing to have. You should probably avoid it like the plague because it is the plague. For these avoid like the plagues, a lot of them will reduce willpower by 5. They will increase your miss chance or decrease your precision when you're firing a bow. There's a lot of these things. There's risk bonus, which increases wages by 30%, which is a lot. All of these things I like to really avoid, but over here you've got your standard list. Feel free to pause the video and just take a look-see here and just see what I overall do for the breakdown here. A lot of them are really good for the always grab. I really like the like a horse and aesthetic. English is hard. Okay, what is this? Aesthetic. Is it aesthetic or ascetic? Anyway, yeah, like consuming 1 less food on every unit, great. Like a horse, increasing carrying capacity by 100%, really great. Other things, yeah, they're not bad. Like giant and anything that increases your damage output, it's always great. So these things are things that I will never shy away from, and I'll actively try to make sure that my units get them. But these things I will try to prevent at all costs. Yes. Now, once again, guys, if you are wanting to see all of the triggers for these, you're going to want to check out the guide below and go give Dorim a shout out, guys. Like go show him some love on that guide. If you like this and all of this information, go show him some love and give him some comments, or hop into the Wartales Discord and send him a shout out. Just ping him and say love Clydian, because he Anyway, guys, I hope you all liked this video, and if you enjoyed this content, want to see more content such as this, drop a comment, like the video, make that number go up, and check me out live on Thursday and Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Central Time. I hope to see you all in my comment section or live stream chat. Until next time, have a good one.